Guess who we have here? Before we even say that, this is Vegan Muscle on Lunch Break Live. Check this out. Absolutely extraordinary. Please introduce yourselves and tell us what you're making, and that's it.
All right. My name's Corrine Sutton. I'm a health coach, online fitness trainer, also 3-time pro bodybuilder. And what I'm going to be making today is a high-protein tofu scramble.
Nice. My name's Ryan Nelson. I am a vegan bodybuilder, gym owner, and today I'm going to be making some overnight oats for you.
Woo, let's get cooking, good looking.
Yeah, let me get started. So this one's pretty easy. I like this one because we can get a lot of calories in. So we're going to start it out just with a mason jar here, simple mason jar, and we're going to do 1 cup of oats. So a lot of the guys oftentimes are like, how can I get the calories in, Ryan? Well, this is how you get the calories in, and pretty low cost too. So we're always excited about that. We're gonna get a full cup of oats in here, measure that out a little bit more. There we go. We're gonna put the oats in the, there's one, let's get one more. So this is gonna last us 2 days. So I like that one, this specifically, because a lot of times, obviously, I know, I'm spilling a little bit.
It's all right, it's all good.
We're limited on time. So if we can take and make 2 of these at once, then it's going to take care of some of that meal prep that takes us a lot of times, oftentimes, and take away those excuses why we can't have big muscle. Take a little bit on how much berries we want. Perfect. Let's go a little bit more since we got this big mason jar here.
Woo!
There we go. Look at that. We love these blueberries. Super high in antioxidants. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. Cool. And then we're going to add the chia seeds. Love this one. This is going to give a little bit of a gelatinous kind of texture to our overnight oats. So we're going to do 1 tablespoon over the top there, and then 1 tablespoon over this one. And then behind that, we're going to bring in our hemp seeds that we got a little bit of oats into, but that's all right. Okay, nice heaping tablespoon of hemp seeds. And then 1 more here.
Now, is it true that you got those oats from the bulk bin?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, got them from the bulk
Yeah.
for $1.99 for a pound.
That's really
So,
reasonable.
A great price. And then we're going to go right behind that with our Good Karma flax milk. Really like this one. We're going to put a cup of that in over the top. Here we go.
And you really like the flax milk.
I like the flax milk.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like this brand. And, you know, the little added protein in there is nice. Because a lot of times we know that's one of the questions we get as vegan bodybuilders. How the heck do you get your protein? So we're going to top this off right there.
Obviously, you're getting it.
Okay, and the last ingredient here, you can see this is pretty quick for us to make this. We're going to go a little bit of maple syrup over the top here.
This is overnight oats, isn't it? Outrageous overnight oats.
And yeah, so just so we know how much protein is in these, there's 37 grams of protein in each one of these. So completely sufficient in getting all your protein here. We're going to put this in the fridge, and it's ready to go tomorrow morning.
Woo! Love it!
Now, if you're one of these people like me who can't wait 24 hours to eat anything, or even 12, if you had to eat that now, you could eat it, right?
Certainly, you could eat this, and an easy sub would just be to cook your oats too, and the ingredients and all the macronutrients are going to be the same.
Wow.
Love it.
Wow.
So easy.
How often do you have this?
I would say I usually have oats like 3 to 4 times a week, so pretty big staple in my diet. And again, I like it because it's an awesome source of energy, being a good carbohydrate, and a lot of calories too for not a lot of money.
Wow, I think that calls for a flex.
And
look at that.
is this your gym right here?
This is the gym. Yeah, this is my gym.
And where's that located?
Los Campeones in Tempe, Arizona.
Tempe, Arizona.
Wow.
So they can find you there, and they can also find you on your website, right?
Find me on the website, RyanNelsonFitness.com, and also on social media, Ryan Nelson Fitness.
Wow. Fantastic.
Unbelievable.
Love it.
That was fast and fabulous.
Tofu Scramble
All right,
time.
now we're moving
All right.
into Tofu Scramble.
So let's go ahead and
Oh, hold on.
do-
I'm going to put these in the fridge.
Yeah, let's get those in the fridge.
Just to make
All right,
it
all right.
kinda
Do we need
for
lids,
real.
Ryan, or are we
Nah,
good?
it's all right.
Good with that.
Right for right.
All right, okay.
All right, so the next thing we're going to do is tofu scramble. So
Yeah.
this is one of my staple foods that I like to do pretty much almost every morning because when I used to consume meat, I used to do eggs a lot. But now being vegan, especially being vegan for 7 years,
Yeah.
tofu is now my new dish, and it's super high in protein, and it's a great alternative to eggs, like really great alternative.
Now,
So, yeah,
sorry.
go ahead.
I was just going to say, I can't get it out of my mind. You were also in the service, is that right?
Yeah, I was in the military for about 8 years in total, and I did 4 years in the United States Marine Corps,
Yeah.
and then did another 4 years in the United States Navy.
Okay. Wow.
Wow.
A lot of power for
Whoa,
that.
let's hear it.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, let me catch that.
Jane's also filming her. She's filming her documentary here, right, Jane? We're doing a multitude of fun around
A
here.
lot of things. We're
Yes,
shooting
we
each
are.
other. Yes, and we're going
And we
live
have,
on
we have live on
Instagram.
Instagram with
Yeah.
Kim King. Kim Delgado.
There we go.
Kim Delgado.
So
There she
first
is,
I'm
the
doing
queen.
Just chopping up some onions.
Yes.
I'll do this first.
I've seen him do this pretty fast before. We were out in Las Vegas for the Olympia, big bodybuilding show. And I know we were running a couple minutes behind, and I seen Corrine put this together in about 5 minutes. So, again, another really fast vegan breakfast that's going to sustain all your energy and protein requirements. So, this is a really great one. You can kind of change it up
Yeah, you
any
can
way
change-
you want to. I mean,
Let's
with
go around
what
the bend.
vegetables.
Come on.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're
you can
going
change up
around.
the ingredients if you like. But I like using these type of ingredients like onions,
Okay,
bell peppers, mushrooms.
Do you need any oil for this? You just
No,
put it
don't
in?
even need oil. Don't even
Oh, that's the secret.
That's kind of one of the big things that Corrine actually taught me was, hey, you can do all this without oil. Because a lot of times, that's one big thing that we overdo is the oil in our cooking. So Corrine can probably touch more on it, but about 3 years ago, Corinne's like, dude, you don't need the oil in the pan. So
Yeah, you
that's-
really don't need oil in the pan just because first thing is when it comes to like what I'm using right now, like the bell peppers and the onions, a lot of it's made out of water. So when you're cooking it in the pan, that's going to be the automatic lubrication for the food. And then when it comes to the nutrients, I like using these vegetables just because they're good for flavoring as well, like they're superfoods. So for example, these bell peppers, they're about 240% of vitamin C.
Woo!
Yeah, so it's a lot more than
Wow.
your orange. Yeah.
Wow.
And a lot of people think you get a lot of vitamin C from orange, and it's really the bell peppers is where it's at.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wow.
Going back and
Look at
forth. You are
you.
fast. You
I
are
think that
fast.
calls for a flex.
Oh man!
Hold on.
Hold on, wait, I missed it.
Wow, look at that.
Whoa.
Okay.
Wow.
Olympia, what did you say? You did that training, the Olympian bodybuilding.
Yeah, we were out at the Olympia contest last month, talking about vegan bodybuilding and spreading the word to mainstream bodybuilders, because that's a lot of times where we see like, hey, they're eating, several chicken breasts a day, they're eating fish fillets, they're doing the dairy in the form of like whey protein, casein protein, even beef and egg protein, and we're able to say, hey, you can do this in a way that you're not going to harm any animals, it's going to be better for the environment, it's going to be a lot better for your health too as well. So Corrine and I are able and very grateful to be able to travel around the country and really talk about this to mainstream audiences, fitness audiences, because oftentimes they do have a pretty open ear and eye to what we're doing from a health standpoint. So we've been lucky enough to be with the Vegan Strong team for the last 2
Oh,
years.
yeah, it's Robert Cheek. And
Wow.
We're good friends with Bill Muir. He's here.
Yes.
He's local.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sergeant Vegan.
Heck
And
yeah.
Robert Cheek and Vanessa Espinoza. And who else is on
Yeah.
your team out there?
Yeah, we got a few other members on our team. Carrie
Nimai?
Kidd,
Oh, Carrie
Nimai
Kidd.
Delgado,
Nimai, yeah.
Natalie Matthews. So there's a lot of us on the team actually from all over the country, and Corrine and I actually were lucky enough to be kind of the first members of the team when we traveled with Leilani Munter on the NASCAR circuit
wow.
in the Vegan Strong Car.
Yeah.
And that's when we were out talking to NASCAR audiences about vegan health and fitness. And so it's been an interesting development over the last 2 years from NASCAR moving more into the fitness stuff. But yeah, we're really, really happy to be part of that team and be able to talk to people about it. Really happy to be here today to show people what kind of food we're eating.
Yeah, I love it.
Wow.
Well, you know, I was talking to a gentleman the other day who, social media influencer male, and he said, you know, a lot of people ask me, what do I make for breakfast? What do I make for brunch? How do I get the protein in and as far as those first meals of the day?
Yep.
So lunch break live, this is kind of a lunch break brunch.
Yeah, I would say this is definitely how you get the protein and the calories in. These are two really good breakfast brunch ideas here that are going to be high in calories, high in protein.
Also
Okay.
micronutrients like vitamins and minerals. as well.
Micronutrients.
A lot of people don't pay attention to that.
That's right. That's right. That's
What do
a
you
good
mean by
highlight.
that? Tell us what you mean by the micronutrients.
So micronutrients is small nutrients. So you have like macros, which is like your larger nutrients. Macronutrients are vital for the body to function. So this is like your protein, carbohydrates, and your fats. And then your micronutrients is like vitamins and minerals, like vitamin A, B, C vitamins, all that stuff. Magnesium, calcium.
64 times, in general, 64 times higher in plant-based foods than in animal-based foods. That's a huge step when we're looking at like, hey, what's the difference between eating more plant-based versus, you know, standard American? Well, there's a lot more micronutrients and antioxidants in plant-based food. So that's a huge come up as far as like your immune system being able to function at a really high level and stay healthy.
That's powerful. Wow.
Wow. look
Okay,
at this.
we got
Woo,
Corrine over
all
here.
right, the tofu's going
Mixing.
in.
Okay, we got tofu, spinach, garlic, onions, peppers.
Smells
Wow.
Yeah,
smells
peppers,
So good.
garlic,
You
mushrooms,
want something like to
spinach.
move it or
To smash it, yeah.
smash it?
Smash,
Smash
move
it.
around.
Smash, smash.
It's a tofu smash. Hey, there you go.
that.
That's
Look at
something.
that.
I always say, you know, when it comes to cooking, you want your food to look like the rainbow. When it looks like the rainbow, then you know you're getting tons of vitamins and minerals out of it.
I thought that was really interesting on the Game Changer, how they kind of talked about, on the Game Changers documentary, how they talked about how our eyes are developed to see bright colors so that we can really go out into nature and find those fruits and vegetables, whereas more so like carnivore animals, they don't have that sort of vision. So, I mean,
That's a really powerful scientific.
yeah, along with all the
you
other
know,
stuff,
fact.
our teeth, our digestive system, even our eyes have really been evolved to eat more plant-based.
Yep, yep.
So
yep.
I've got to ask you probably the $64,000 question.
Okay.
I mean, you look like the epitome of what both of you, they would like to consider the meat-eating all-American male.
Yep.
And yet you're 100% plant-based, and you're 100% plant-based.
Yep.
So does it kind of mess with their head when they see that you are incredibly muscular and manly in every sense of the word, both of you, and yet you are, and maybe you can come over here for a second, like a little bit over here. Thank you. I just scooch more.
Do we need
You mess with their heads? I mean, when they see you are both plant-based, you're vegan, and yet you're going out there to NASCAR and bodybuilding contests, and you are the epitome of what the advertisers want to describe as the meat-eating male, but you're both plant-based.
Yeah.
How do people handle that?
They're pretty impressed. Yeah, a lot of people are impressed, and the first question they have is like, where do you get your protein? So I tell them like certain staples. I don't just tell them like, yeah, just broccoli, spinach, even though you can get protein from that. I tell them like big staples, because when it comes to animal-based products, you know, when we think protein, we're thinking like chicken, turkey, pork, you know, beef. But then when it comes to the plant-based side, sometimes people like to say like just the plants, but we do have things like tofu, seitan, hemp seeds, things that's just really high in protein. You know, even tempeh, you know, for example, or lentils, legumes. These are like things. These are food products that's extremely high in protein, and they're great comparisons when it comes to animal-based byproducts.
Yeah.
Okay, and maybe you could even talk in there, but psychologically, when people see you, I'll scooch over here. When people see you, I mean, it's kind of like you're saying, hey, they like to say soy boy, and the industry loves to try to feminize vegans, but yet you're the ultimate masculine males. How do they handle it psychologically? Is there a sense that they go, oh my God, I've been lied to?
Yeah, I would say just a lot of times, like right away, Corrine and myself, our physiques right away, like break a stereotype that oftentimes has been placed in their head, maybe their whole life, that you can't be big if you don't eat animal products. So when they see that right away, there's questions like, no, you're not, you can't be vegan, or I don't believe that, or things like that. But then beyond that, like sometimes we're able to give them really good food. So when we give them really good food on top of breaking the stereotype of you can't be big and be vegan, then they walk away with two of their biggest stereotypes like broken. And oftentimes I see when those two are out of the way, then people start to open up to the idea more. So yeah, I think to kind of like touch on exactly what you're saying is oftentimes we do get some like, I don't know if I like you're really breaking some stereotypes for me right now. I got to think about it, but yeah, I think we have in a lot of stories over the last couple of years of people going more plant-based, having amazing results, and reaching back out to us. Yeah, a lot of big athletes right now. You see the whole Tennessee Titans defensive team, vegan, and along with other elite athletes. That I think it's only a short matter of time before more mainstream people are like, listen, I can't take this any longer. Like, there's too many good vegan athletes out there for me to deny the fact that it's time for me to go vegan too.
Wow, that was great. Thank you both. You are amazing.
I have a question for you, Ryan, if you don't mind. I know
yeah,
we were just
you can look in here.
Okay, is I know you had talked about, you might be ready for this, because you talked about this on a panel at Arizona State University. It was so inspiring. What, do you need some salt and Himalayan pepper? Black pepper. Oh, yeah.
Okay, we'll find it.
We'll find it. Okay,
Hey,
it's on the
right
hook.
here, I'm on the case.
There it is. There
I'm on
it
the
is.
case.
But you had talked about you coming from and growing up in a hunting family background.
Yeah.
And with that, in Wyoming, and that's the town you're from is called.
Yeah, Bighorn, Wyoming.
Yeah, Bighorn.
Small little town.
Small town,
118 actually now that I'm not there. So, and cattle ranching was a huge part of my childhood. We would raise cattle from the ages of like 6 months old to like a year old, and those are called yearlings generally in the livestock industry. And then we would ship them off to their last day. Which now looking back on it, like every year we did this to several hundred animals, and now living a completely different lifestyle, oftentimes I get that question or that reply or answer of like, hey, I'm from the Midwest, or I grew up on a ranch, or those things. And I'm like, hey, I did too. Like, but you can make the change. And so that's just something that, like, the standpoint I like to come from is you can be a hunter or a fisher or a rancher, and you can still have a lot of compassion in your heart and make those changes and eat amazing healthy food and still maintain a really amazing physique and be athletic and all that stuff, and even perform on a higher level as a plant-based athlete.
Well, one more thing I want to ask you is, because I remember you did that analogy to the football field.
Yeah.
So that really stuck out for me, Ryan. So
yeah, I think that's a good one, just because like numbers are huge for me. And when I was doing the math in my head, I was being this big bodybuilder guy, and I was eating so much animal product. I was eating 6 chicken breasts a day, and I was eating 2 fish fillets every day. And that sounds so extreme, but for a 250-pound guy, that's what it's going to take.
Can you relate?
In our mindset.
You can relate, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we're both huge meat eaters. That's what it's going to take in our mindset to get big. And that's what a lot of people still think to this day. But when I was doing the math, I was like, that's 3 chickens, that's 1 fish every day. At the end of the week, that's 28 animals. At the end of the month, it's over 100. And then I kept going and going. I was like, at the end of the year, that's over 1,000, like 1,500 animals. And I was thinking about that football stadium that I played in for so long. And I was thinking, yeah, there's about 50 to 75,000 seats in that stadium. And I was thinking, if I do this for the next 50 years of my life and continue this behavior, that whole football stadium is going to be filled up with animals asking me why I chose to sacrifice them when I'd already been vegan for 3 weeks. The food tasted great, my body felt better, and the convenience is already there. That was 8 years ago. I mean, this came a long ways in the last 8 years, at the convenience sake. When I was thinking like, yo, there's a football stadium for me, there's a football stadium for him, and there's a football stadium for all of our guys. Like, I'm not cool with that anymore. And that's when I made the decision ethically to never eat animals again.
Wow. Thank you. Woo! Both of you. Right? Yeah.
And I don't want you to overcook your food, but I'd like to ask you as well. And you could, well, how about this? We'll get close, but
okay.
You're talking to me. So what about you? Do you blow the mind of, because we're all sort of conditioned to believe like Okay, you want to be manly. We all know advertisers target men and say if you want to be a man, you got to eat animals. But look at your muscles, and you don't eat animals, and you don't eat animal byproducts. You're vegan. So you are shattering the stereotype.
Absolutely.
How do people cope with that when they see you?
Truthfully, I mean, people just wants to learn. You know, they want to learn from me because, I mean, when they find out that I'm vegan, they just want to know, like, how I became vegan, what I eat. So when I tell my story, they really connect. Because with me, I was like, you want to talk about manly, like, I was the epitome of that. You know, being in the military, serving in Operation Iraqi Freedom 3 and 4, being in war combat, and, you know, and I just tell my story, and what it is, trying to give you, like, the shorter version of it, is that once I was in war, I noticed that a lot of innocent individuals suffer from it. It's not how the news and the media really portrays it when we're in wartime. You know, when it's in wartime, you usually just see, like, you know, good guys versus bad guys, right? But then when it comes down to the reality of things, what really happens is that there's a lot of innocent people, like kids, mothers, even fathers, who just want to go to school, go to work. And when that happens in a wartime environment, I would say just imagine, like, your world just got shattered. You know, it's not even a video game anymore. It's not Call of Duty. It's like your whole world is shattered. You know, you can't see your family. You can't go to work. You can't take your kids to school. You know, and then you have a foreign invader coming into your own country, telling you when to sleep, when to wake up, when you can be outside, how far you can be close to a vehicle. Because if you're too close to them, they could blow up your vehicle or shoot you in the head. You know, and these are a lot of innocent bystanders in war. So war is not pretty.
And so war is definitely not pretty.
Yeah.
How did you make the transition from war to a plant-based, vegan, non-violent diet?
Yeah, so for me, like, I was in school. I saw Gary Yourofsky. He came to my classroom, did his speech. And then from there, when he did that speech, he talked about the ethics, the environmental standpoints, the medical reasons why. And especially what hit me the most was the ethical part. Because when he told me that there's a lot of innocent animals that's being killed. And when I saw the slaughter videos, it reminded me of a lot of innocent people that I saw that died in war. You know, my own comrades, you know, just regular kids, mothers that just died from combat. And these are people or living beings, if you want to compare animals to humans, just living beings in general, who wants us to live and be in peace. You know? And when I saw that as you know, because someone like myself, I always wanted to be a hero. You know what I mean? But at that moment, I didn't feel like it when he told me the truth about animal cruelty and slaughter. You know, so that's when I made a decision to change.
And how did you feel about it?
I felt great. You know, I feel good. I love what I'm doing now. You know, helping others, teaching them to live a more compassionate and healthier lifestyle. You know, so I feel amazing.
Do you feel more peaceful?
A lot more peaceful. I mean, I have a lot of friends that's suffering from PTSD, and I want to tell you the truth. Like, once I switched over to veganism, it wasn't just the health standpoint that really made me, you know, stick to it. It's just the ethical standpoint, the mental clarity, and I started looking at how life should be a lot better, a lot more clearly.
Wow, that's so powerful.
Wow.
I just think what you just said was, both of you, I mean, what incredible power. And now you're a hero for the animals.
Yeah. Well, for life.
Yeah.
Because when people start eating this stuff, you know, that's more animals being saved. And for that individual who's eating healthy, they're saving themselves.
And we're saving the planet from
And
climate change.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow, you guys.
So amazing.
Amazing.
Look at this bro power.
Look at this.
That's
Manly,
BFF
manly
bros.
vegans.
Woo.
All right.
Now,
Now, what's happening?
just had a little twig.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
little twist. Here we go.
Okay.
Oh, that
There,
looks
look
delicious.
at that. How beautiful.
So colorful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm into the colors.
Look at
Yeah.
that. Wow. Okay.
Well, we got some plates up there,
Time
right
for the
above
taste
ya.
test.
Time to taste test.
All right.
And,
I'll do it. I'll take care of it.
Sounds good.
There we go. Okay. Time for a taste test. I'm shooting a documentary. I'm hanging out with these macho men who are vegan.
Yep.
Life's good.
Life is
Come
great.
Come around that
I'll
way.
come around, and we're gonna taste test.
Oh,
Oh dear.
Watch
Oh
out
dear.
for that. Woo! Okay.
All right. It's always exciting.
Quite
here.
a show
It's always exciting here in the Jane and Jane kitchen. We like to put a few booby traps to make it interesting.
Keep us on our toes.
Oh my
That's
God.
it.
This is so delicious.
That's a good one.
Oh my God.
Corrine, would you mind stepping next
smells
to Jane
good.
a little closer?
Yeah.
There we go. And you guys maybe come around there. There we go. Better lighting, fabulous. Love it, everybody. We're live on
What do you
Jane
think
on Jane
about
Lunch
that?
Break Live. Woo!
It's delicious and it looks like eggs. It tastes like eggs. The turmeric gives it the, look at this. Looks just like an egg, scrambled egg. But there's no cholesterol. And the best news is a baby boy chick didn't have to be ground up alive.
Exactly.
Because for every egg that's produced, they don't need the male chicks. And the little baby males come out, chirp, chirp, chirp. They put them on a conveyor belt and they're all ground up alive. And if you don't believe me, go online and you'll see it. It's called a macerator. There's no need to engage in that kind of medieval torture and cruelty and barbarism when we can have oh, where do you get your protein? I mean, come on, people, enough with that. We've got it. We got our protein.
And it's more, the tofu is more in protein than the egg anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, that
Yeah.
whole block that I put in there, that's 50 grams of protein right there.
It's so good.
Cool.
50, 5-0.
Wow.
And I
This
noticed
is-
you use the sprouted organic.
Yeah.
Yes, that's apparently the best. Also, what are the spices you snuck in there?
I
You're
threw
there.
in some nutritional yeast, so
Oh,
if you're looking for
good.
that B12,
And
Yes.
it gives it
Yeah.
a cheesy
give
flavor.
the cheesy taste, as well the turmeric, because that's a great anti-inflammatory.
And then you use the pepper to activate it.
Yep, the black pepper to activate it to give it more anti-inflammatory
Yeah,
properties.
elevate
Wow.
that property. Elevate those properties. Wow, this has
Yum,
been
yum,
amazing.
yum.
Oh, Kim, you
I
got a
have
question
quick
there?
question. What about those people that say, "Oh, you get estrogen in the tofu"?
Well, the plants has phytoestrogens, so it has no effects to the human to the human body. You know, if you want to really look at things that has true estrogen in it, not just a plant
Cows.
is dairy. Yep,
Dairy.
from the cow.
Ah,
Dairy.
there you
So you have
go.
to kind of
pregnant.
think about it when it comes to the female cow. Like for them to produce so much milk, especially for the demand for human beings and human consumption, like they have to inject it with hormones and steroids and also like antibiotics because of the living conditions. So just think about what happens when that milk gets produced. You know, the milk doesn't just appears into the other like magically. It's made from the food it eats and from what it's injected as well. It's the same thing when it comes to like a regular human mother. You know, you can't consume a lot of salmon or fish because of the mercury levels. And the same thing with alcohol consumption. Yeah, you can't drink alcohol and then try to breastfeed your baby because it's going to poison the milk. So you are what you eat. So you have to really pay attention to that.
You're so inspiring. I'm going to use a spork. I'm going to use a spork to try out your overnight oats.
Overnight oats. Let's
As
see.
we marvel that people don't even realize you have to be pregnant to produce breast milk. That's the breast milk of a cow you're drinking. Why not drink this? Good karma. Okay?
That's right.
And have good karma.
And have good karma, as Tim
Yeah.
Delgado
Oh, yeah.
points out. Absolutely. We are live on
Oh,
Instagram
yeah.
with Ryan
Oh,
Nelson
yeah.
Fitness Instagram. Oh, wait, are we doing a happy dance? Wait, let's, oh, come on, you guys. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There it is.
I'm feeling good right now. I got these two hunky guys. I've got some overnight oats. I've got really strong men cooking for me and making overnight
Yeah.
oats for me. And they're going to carry me down to Venice Beach in a bit.
Jane's
Muscle
dreams are
Beach.
coming true.
Muscle Beach.
Muscle
Yeah,
Beach.
Muscle Beach, right around the
Let's go
corner.
to Muscle Beach.
Right, there
Look.
it is. Wow.
Amazing. Living proof. Living proof that you don't need to kill animals or drink their byproducts to have an incredible edible life. Okay? Let's
right.
just evolve, people, because if we don't, animal agriculture is going to destroy all of us, not just the animals. It is the leading cause of climate change. If you want proof, go to climatehealers.org. Look at the white paper that shows that it's responsible for 87% of greenhouse gas emissions. It's
Just came out.
It's a new white paper that just came out. We need to change our diets. We can have fun doing it. You can look like these guys, and gals, you can be fit too and have a healthy, happy life and feel happy about it. So many people I know, they're on antidepressants, they feel depressed, and I go, why don't you try something new? Why don't you try going plant-based? And they just look at me like I'm crazy, but your body and your mind does know that you're killing. The unconscious mind, even though people say it's legal, it doesn't matter, you can call yourself an animal lover, those animals don't count. We all know they do count. And everybody knows they're killing animals when they buy animal products and they eat meat or dairy. So let's just let it go. It's only 20% globally of our diet anyway. When we reduce that down to 0, we can save our planet, reforest a lot of the cattle ranching areas, and then those trees will sequester carbon, we'll be able to lower the temperature, and we won't destroy our planet. So have fun, and should we just do a 3, 2, 1, go vegan?
Yeah.
With the
flag.
muscle.
Flex.
Woo! 3, 2, 1.
Go
vegan!
You could have muscles like, no, I mean this.